You know, I know, you know, I know, you know. Yeah, I know, you know, I know, you know.
The wrong people. You'll regret it. Ever wonder why your kindness always gets taken for granted? Because every time someone asks, you say yes. Every time they want something, you give. Every time they hurt you, you forgive. Every time they cross the line, you let it slide. But here's the truth. Some people get so used to receiving, they forget how to appreciate. They get so used to your strength, they forget to care. So used to your tolerance, they forget to respect you. Kindness is beautiful, but only when given to the right people. You always think about others, but who's really thinking about you?
You know why? I don't have the grace to tolerate nonsense. Nobody will give me hypertension. Nobody will give me BP because I'm a Christian or I'm a preacher. I will never tolerate that. Street apostle. I am the street apostle. I preach Christ to you. You misbehave, I beat the hell out of you. I mobilize boys to clear your doubt. If you are the type that cause confusion or insult your parents at home, if I have the access to attack you and deal with you to repent, we will flog you. Make sure you repent. You can't be insulting your parents and you tell us to calm you down, pamper you.
Because you're a Christian.
Because you're a Christian. That's nonsense. You understand? You know why I cannot do that? You know, if as an apostle, all you want me to do is to pamper you. You go to as a married man now, you beat your wife, causing confusion everywhere. And you now come, you want me to say, hey, sir, you see, we'll beat you first. Because you did not marry somebody's daughter to come and frustrate her. Some of these marriages need to be treated. That is why I supported when Christ flogged them inside that temple. You understand? There are people that are not interested in the gospel. What they need is flogging. They need to be treated correctly. So that we'll do some, you know, mental and spiritual alignment. Are we together? Now, the point I'm trying to make here is clear. I know myself. Trying to behave in a different way. I know I cannot tolerate certain things in the church. Let's take for instance. I can decide to say, okay, today, choir, you are sacked. You are leaving. Okay, youth. Because these pastors, if they tell you what they are passing through, you pity them. But check it out. Who are the most insulted, especially in Nigeria? Are the pastors? Yes. People attack them left, right, and center. And most of us don't know what they are passing through. And we don't even care. We don't care. Because, see, Christ died for us, and I'm not Christ. And nobody said, I am not called. I don't have the grace to tolerate nonsense. Nobody will give me hypertension. Nobody will give me BP because I'm a Christian or I'm a preacher. I will never tolerate that. Street apostle. I am the street apostle. I preach Christ to you. You misbehave, I beat the hell out of you. I mobilize boys to clear your doubt. If you are the type that cause confusion or insult your parents at home, if I have the access to attack you and deal with you to repent, we will flog you. Make sure you repent. You can't be insulting your parents and you tell us to calm you down, pamper you. Because you're a Christian. Because you're a Christian. That's nonsense. You understand? You know why I cannot do that? You know, if as an apostle, all you want me to do is to pamper you. You go to as a married man now, you beat your wife, causing confusion everywhere. And you now come, you want me to say, hey, sir, you see, we'll beat you first. Because you did not marry somebody's daughter to come and frustrate her. Some of these marriages need to be treated. That is why I supported when Christ flogged them inside that temple. You understand? There are people that are not interested in the gospel. What they need is flogging. They need to be treated correctly. So that we'll do some, you know, mental and spiritual alignment. Are we together? Now, the point I'm trying to make here is clear. I know myself. I know my calling. So I won't deceive myself trying to behave in a different way. I know I cannot tolerate certain things in the church. Let's take for instance. I can decide to say, okay, today, choir, you are sacked. You are leaving. Okay, youth. Because these pastors, if they tell you what they are passing through, you pity them. But check it out. Who are the most insulted, especially in Nigeria? Are the pastors?
Yes.
People attack them left, right, and center. And most of us don't know what they are passing through. And we don't even care. We don't care. Because, see, Christ died for us, and I'm not Christ. I did not die for anybody. I'm striving to make heaven. You are striving to make heaven, so don't confuse me. Nobody should confuse me.
So there was serve God by force.
Yes. Let's say, for instance, you met some of these Gen Z guys, you know.
Yes.
You see somebody insulting his mother. We had similar experience the other time in my area. I was driving.
Oh, well, let me say a pleasant good evening and a warm welcome to your program, State and Religion, right here on Kings 88.5. This is where we talk about state and religion. We bring issues that are so much interesting to talk about. I'd like to say pleasant good evening and welcome. Today is Sunday, the 21st day of September. And I'm your good friend, Israel. Boy, we are here. Let's talk together, yeah? I come back. All right. So thank you. Let me say good evening, wonderful people. How you doing? Our service today. I know service was very wonderful. It was very good. I know the service was very good today. Those of you across the country in Liberia, I know you out of service now, except for maybe a special program that is ongoing. Those of you in the diaspora, some of you service are ongoing. Some of you got through with your service already. And let me say welcome. You know, we'll talk the politics, but mind you now, when we discuss some state and religion, we talk politics. We talk politics here. Not in depth, but we talk politics. And it's very important to have you part of this discussion this evening. And I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy to be here. All right. So we want to thank God for the grace, you know, coming from service at Winners Chapel, come to Central Morovia, and then service at the Christopolis Christian Center. Like a friend, you know, tell that friend, say, come and listen. What I'm about to discuss is very important. And we'll bring it to the setting of Liberia, whether we need it in Liberia, whether it can happen, because justification is going to come. People will explain. And I will take it from this platform and take it on, talk about it sometime this week, because it's very important. But I want to look at it from the perspective of the church, from state and religion. I want to look at it from that perspective. Then gradually we able to go on and go on we go. So welcome. K. Emmanuel, we are welcome. Uh, oh my God. Abed M. Mato Jr., welcome you there in Concotown, Paco Island community. Elizabeth A. Thomas, the pre-birthday woman. Friday will be a birthday. Michael Dor. I hope I pronounced your name well. You there following from Minnesota, USA. Peterson Nangwe. How are you? How are you this evening? Peterson Nangwe. You're joining us from Rome. Okay, Cootie Williams. She always like to be on the show. This is a very good topic. I know she will want to make some contribution. Yeah, thank God too. Thank God too to have you, Mama. It's good to have you, wonderful people on the show. You know, you will love this discussion. The reason why I'm bringing the discussion here, I know there will be a lot of disagreement. There will be people who agree. There will be people who will go to the Bible. There will be people who will say this one. But it's very good for us to discuss it, you know, for us to discuss it. So let me say good evening to all of you. Let me say good evening to all of you wonderful people. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us on the platform this Sunday evening. Yeah, this Sunday evening. Oh, too bad, too bad. Don't call. The person don't call. So, this is what I want to share with you. This is what I want to share with you. And I know some of you following. Maybe you heard it and you didn't believe it. You heard it and you think it's not of reality. It's not a reality. In Liberia, not other parts of the world, like even in America, you know, when you marry, when you get married to a woman, and that woman name is Teresa Weah. And then the man who is to get married to Teresa Weah, his name is Jimmy Dixon. Jimmy Dixon. The man name is Jimmy Dixon, and the woman name is Teresa Weah. If Jimmy Dixon would marry Teresa Weah, her family name, the Weahs, that name will be removed, and it will be replaced with Dixon, the sub-name or the family name of the man. Those of you who go to church, you say the Bible says, two shall be one. You shall leave your family and click together as one family. So, even though I didn't hear in the Bible that this man married a woman here and the woman was using a last name in the Bible, I didn't see it. Maybe it's there. Something that is debatable. I didn't see, but they said they shall be one. And that they shall be one, I don't know whether it is the name that is inclusive of they shall be one, or the woman can use her parents' name, her father's name. The man uses his father's name. For our setting here, you know, when you are Johnson Dixon and you married to Teresa Weah, when you get married to Teresa Weah, the last name of Teresa's father's name will be removed. And your father's name, she will use your family name. Now, what am I bringing this? There is a situation in South Africa, in the Republic of South Africa. And I see too many arguments about it. But I want us to look at it, whether it's logical. So we go to South Africa. There was a case recently that the constitutional courts in South Africa ruled. The constitutional court in South Africa, they came down with a ruling. It was in the same month, September. It should be around September 11 that they came up with a ruling. The Supreme Court in South Africa came up with a ruling. And what was that ruling? What was that ruling? So did the Supreme Court pass the law? That should be the question. They passed the law, or the Supreme Court ruled? Because passing a law, the Supreme Court can pass law. It is the legislature or the parliament or the Congress that can pass a law. The Supreme Court or the Constitutional Court can only rule. They can rule in favor of a matter. They can rule against a matter. You know, they are the final arbiter of justice. Like for the case in South Africa, before I just lead you through, let me tell you exactly what transpired when the Supreme Court ruled there on that day. So, on September 11, 2025, this year, the Supreme Court ruled. And what did the Supreme Court say? What did the Supreme Court say in her ruling? And the Supreme Court ruling is not a preliminary law. It's not a parliamentary law. It's not a law that the parliament in South Africa signed and passed into law. No. 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 There's constitutional court in South Africa because the constitutional court in South Africa is the highest court. Like why we have the Supreme Court in Liberia. They are the highest court. We got other lower courts in South Africa. So the constitutional court in South Africa is the highest court. When you take issue there, when the rule is the final. So the Supreme Court ruled that the previous law, there was a law in South Africa. And that law said a banned man from taking their wife's surname or their wife's last name. So in South Africa, when you get married, your woman's supposed to use your pa name, your own family name. They will move your own pa name from there and put your pa or your family name there. So the Constitutional Court in South Africa said no. This thing is unconstitutional and discriminatory. For a man to marry the woman, then he tell the woman to use her own pa name and tell the woman own family name from behind her. They said it was unconstitutional and discriminatory for such thing to happen after marriage. I'm bringing something for you to talk about. So the court went and said, we suspending that law. That old law that was saying when the woman married the woman got to use the man own people name. No. So they suspend that law and they told the parliament, they gave the South African parliament 2 years to amend the Birth and Death Registration Act. Because that act specifically talks about the issue about when you marry, you know, your woman got to use your last name. So the Constitutional Court in South Africa gave the parliament in South Africa 2 years. The 2 years that they gave them was for them to go and amend the Birth and Death Registration Act. So that when they amend that act will not comply with the ruling of the Constitutional Court in South Africa. So that is why the Constitutional Court, when they ruled and said no, that thing, it can be. That thing is unconstitutional. That thing is how do we call it? They said it's unconstitutional and discriminatory. For the man to marry the woman, then he said the woman must use her pa name. Like in Liberia, when the woman in Teresa, we are in the man in Thomas Jackson. When he married Teresa last name, her father's name, that we will be removed and will be replaced by the man under pa name. In South Africa, it was like that. But there was an issue. So I'm going to leave you what brought it. So there were two different views in South Africa. Some people were happy about it. Some people were not happy about it. So, but the suspension given by the court is not a parliamentary law. It's not a law passed by the South African Parliament. That's why they gave them 2 years to go and amend the how do you call it? The Birth and Death Registration Act that they have already, so it can comply with the ruling of the Supreme Court. So they changed came as a result, it came from a constitutional court decision, not from a law passed by parliament. So that you will understand, you Liberians, so that you understand that the decision taken by the constitutional court in South Africa came from a constitutional court decision and not a new law passed by the parliament of South Africa. So what happened now? They said this ruling by the Constitutional Court of South Africa removes the gender-based discrimination of the previous law. The one we are doing in Liberia now, when you marry a woman, the woman will not you a partner, your last name the woman will use. In South Africa, the Constitutional Court suspend that thing. So they said it removes gender-based discrimination of the previous law. Now, allowing both men and women to choose their last name after marriage. So many in South Africa, when the woman and the man get married, either they will agree, the man either use the woman under par last name, or it just have to be. But they are saying now, a man who marry a woman in South Africa can either use the woman par name or a woman they use their own name. So it's no more now bounding. That when a man in South Africa married a woman, the woman compared to use his father's last name. They say no. Now, a man in South Africa marrying a woman can use the woman on a people's parents' last name. I hope you're getting it. So they said that law that was existing first in South Africa, the law we are getting in Liberia, where Teresa Weah married Tamar Jackson, after their wedding, she got a use Jacksons. She will not be called Teresa Jacksons. She will not be called Teresa Weah. That what was happening in South Africa. But after the Supreme Court now suspend that issue, they are saying that law was outdated. They said the reason why that law came to South Africa, it came as a result of the colonial era. And that kind of law was not balanced. It was not a balanced law. It was one-sided. It was only favoring the men and not the women. It was not balanced. So they will have to take such a decision, so that the women too can have, a man can marry a woman and use the woman's last name. But let me tell you where it started from. Two couples, they had some argument about it. So concerning who will use, the woman won't argue with the man, said, but no, you sort of use my own partner. The man said, no, but I marry you. You're supposed to use my own. I'll marry you. That my last name you're supposed to take. But the man said, why would take your last name? Why would take your last name? I'm Teresa Weah. I'll marry you. You Tamar Jackson. Then you say I'm a Tate Jackson and I'm Weah. So it brought some confrontation. So what they did, the couple took the case to the Constitutional Court. They carried the case to court. They said this is the issue. So the Constitutional Court ruled. The people came down and said, the argument about this law was a colonial input. And it amounted to gender-based discrimination. It was not a good law. It was not a good law. So, woman now, when the man and woman married, the man can use the woman's last name. In South Africa now, or the man can use it's an arrangement, but the court has ruled that way bad thing. When you marry a woman, you marry the woman, then the woman got to take your last name. In South Africa, they said no, it changed. It changed. So the parliament will now have to amend the Bribes and Debt Registration Act, like I said, along with its regulation, so that the ruling by the Constitutional Court so it can take effect. So it hasn't taken effect yet. So the Constitutional Court already ruled, and they are waiting on the Parliament of South Africa to now amend the Bribes and Debt Registration Act along with this regulation so that the ruling can take immediate effect. So the two couples, they have argued that the law was not good. It violated equality rights enshrined in their constitution, and so they challenged the whole thing in the lower court. So they went to the lower court. The two couples, They were arguing that they law incorrect, they law that colonial law, that whereby the people that came to Africa and then brought the law. So they argue, they went to the lower court. They went to the lower court, they couldn't get rid. Then they went to the constitutional court, like here we say the Supreme Court. When they went to the Supreme Court in South Africa, the Supreme Court now noted that in many African countries, in some African countries, women there, they maintain their birth names after marriage. In some other African countries, the men married a woman, and the men married a woman still keep her partner name. She still maintain her birth name, the name she was birthed with. They gave her. They maintain that name after marriage. And then in other side children, they take their mother's name and and why the view. But they said when the European colonizers and Christian missionary came and brought their Western values, that they brought a custom that a wife would take the husband's last name. They said that thing it was existing during the Roman Dutch law. So the people in South Africa was concerned. They said because if the woman would use the man's last name, it will erase the lineage of that family that he married. Because if the woman using her father's name, the name of that family will continue. But where the man got to move the woman name, then they pour a man, a last name on the woman, they say it will erase the lineage. And some of you will argue, but South Africa is a Christian nation. So Africa was based on Christian principle. So Africa is a Christian nation. Is South Africa a Christian nation? Before we go there, if there are some African countries that women use their father's name after marriage, some African countries, like Ethiopia, and many other areas, according to their tradition, they don't have to, the woman don't have to change their birth name after marriage. But when the Western people went in their country, the posted they carry all those values and all the missionary that had to change those kind of thing. And they say it can erase their culture because the lineage, because if your father last name there, they will know the lineage. That Tiaka son, that Tiaka daughter that men married to in our last name. But when they remove that last name and put the men of people name there, they say their lineage will disappear and people will not remember them. So those are the arguments, and the Supreme Court have to rule in favor of the people. The constitutional court said, yeah, everything makes sense. That the colonial people then brought all kind of system in our country. But I think as per our tradition, it should not be that way. So then we come to the fact that is South Africa a Christian nation or a secular state? Is South Africa a Christian nation? The answer is no. The Republic of South Africa is not an official Christian nation. South Africa is a secular state. Just like Liberia. South Africa is a secular state. It's not a Christian nation. But the majority of the population of South Africa identified as Christians. So 85.3% of South Africans are Christians. From their recent census, the day 2022, 85.3% of South Africans are Christians. The other one they are there, they got Muslims, they got Islam, they got Hinduism, other groups are there. But if you check in South Africa, Christianity is the dominant religion in South Africa. So if Christianity is the dominant religion in South Africa, and I know they operate with the Bible, I know they believe that there is a part of the scripture that says, two shall be one. Why would the constitutional court agree with two couples that argue about the issue? And even other civil society groups. And said the issue about a man, the woman using the sub-name of the man family is unconstitutional. Are they not following what the Bible says? Or what the Bible said about two shall be one? It didn't mention the issue that a woman shall take the man name, take the man on the family name. Whether it's something that we can also practice in Liberia and bring it and say, but then it can work in Liberia too. So that our Supreme Court too can rule, so people take the argument, go to court too. And then we see whether we can revisit that law in Liberia. But South Africa is a secular state, but a Christian dominant nation of more than 85.3% South Africans as Christians. So if they're going back to say the law, that law that were existing was a colonial era law to subject the people, it discriminates, it's full of segregation. It brings hate among the people. Whether it's it was a rightful decision taken by the Constitutional Court of South Africa that a woman, the man can use the woman, man can marry the woman and use the woman. And sometimes the lawyer was saying, but then the woman can marry the man. So the man use her own last name. Should it be an arrangement? Or should it be something like, oh, say I marry you, use your part last name. Then I will use my own sub-name. Use your sub-name. I will use my own last name. Use your own last name. Does it in any way say that the man is not married to the woman? You think that the justification provided by the Constitutional Court in South Africa is it enough for us to also do it in Liberia and say, oh, but then it can be? Because South Africa is a Christian. Liberia is a secular state. Oh, yes, I remember. It's just they went there and changed our constitution. Liberia was based on Christian principles. Yes, I remember. Christopolis, City of Christ. But they changed it. They changed the constitution and said we're secular state. But the dominant, Liberians are dominant religion in Liberia is Christianity. There are other religions, Islam, Hindus, Bahula, they are here. So we also do the same thing here too. When you marry a woman and blah, blah, blah. But there are Bible in South Africa and the same Bible is in Liberia. But they are saying it is an old law. And I'll take this thing on during the week so that I will talk more about it. But I want us to look at it. Because the final decision, the Constitutional Court in South Africa is the Constitutional Court is South Africa's highest and final decision-making court. That court in South Africa, they call the Constitutional Court. They are the highest and final decision-making court. Any decision from there is final. It's final. It's binding on all other courts in South Africa. A decision from the Constitutional Court in South Africa is binding on all other courts in South Africa. And in South Africa, we got a Constitutional Court, we got the Constitutional Court, which is the higher court, we got the Supreme Court of Appeal, we got the higher courts, we got the magistrate courts. And maybe any other one established an act of the parliament. So that is why they are saying that from South Africa. And the justification here is that law was brought into place by those people that came to our country. The Western people, the missionaries, and when they came, they brought those kind of laws in our country. And you see what happened to us. It affects our country, and we can go that route. We can go that route. So, like, if you look at pre-colonial the tradition, like Ethiopia and Eritrea, in these cultures, women they can use their father's name instead of a sub-name. In Ethiopia, in Eritrea, the women there, they marry them, they use their people's name, they use their father's last name. And they don't take their husband's name, even when the men marry them. In Ethiopia, in Eritrea, the women there, they're using their father's last name. Even when they get married, they say they don't use the husband's last name. Is it wrong? Is it something that is it's not biblical? It's wrong? Because I didn't see any portion in the Bible that said, even though they say a man shall leave his family and cleave to his wife, they shall be one. I didn't see anything mentioned that say he would use the woman would use the man last name. You know, but it's a different show. That similar thing that they took to South Africa. So before colonial rules, there were many African society that allowed their women to keep their birth names. Before the colonial rule, many African countries, they allowed their women to keep their birth name. Sometimes the children, when they born the children can take the mother's client name, the woman, name, people name. Now, what happened, why it brings about is it shows the importance of the lineage in some culture. It shows that, their woman here, they're from their line, because they are the woman last name, or children she born, they're using her last name. So, okay, they're from this lineage, they're from this family. So that's how the people saw it. All those why in Ethiopia, in Eritrea, in other communities in South Africa, that's how they saw it. Women can do wait for me. That's how they saw it. Now, what happened after the arrival of colonialism, after the introductions of Western values? When there came the Christian missionaries, there where they brought the issue now, wives should take their husband last name. Because it was not so like in Ethiopia, in Eritrea, and in other parts of the country, like in other South Africa, other places. As per their culture, as per their tradition, the woman was using her past last name. Even when a woman married, the woman still use her past last name. She can't use her husband's name. They wanted to keep the lineage of their family, and there was no problem. Until there came the Western culture. Then the Christian missionary came and said, no, the woman got to use the man or husband's last name. The woman got to use her husband's last name. And when you check South Africa, they said that was the apartheid regime. Yeah. They said that law they were using, the laws were enacted by colonial government. It was enacted by colonial government. That law that they brought to South Africa when the missionary, all the other people came into African country, they brought those laws. And they introduced it, and they enforced the practice of women changing their name upon marriage. They forced it upon them. That was the justification of the South African. The people that went to court, those were the reasons they were given to the constitutional court. It said it was not so it is not a part of our tradition. It was not something that was part of us. So we wanted to understand the thing. They law the people bring here, woman, use our husband's last name. It was never so. When the white people came, when those people came down, the Christian missionary, when they came, they brought that thing, the apartheid regime, and forced us. And so man, use our husband's last name. So they wanted to have a modern day practices. So they said, no, we got to go to court and justify this thing. So the ruling by the Constitutional Court of South Africa in September this year, the whole aim was to dismantle the colonial era laws and give individuals the freedom to choose their naming preferences. That was the ruling of the Constitutional Court in South Africa, to dismantle the colonial era laws and gave individuals the freedom to choose their naming preferences. So in South Africa, the people think it is a victory. It's a victory. It's a victory. Let it be woman. Let's start calling people back to back. Let's stop it. Okay. So I want you to understand it. So that is the argument now. So it was on that basis when they went to court, they were able to convince the judge and two said, yeah, but it's not true. It's not true. It's not true that we're apartheid and they had it in here. We can't be like that. Christianity is the dominant religion in South Africa. I know they read the Bible, the Holy Bible there, the Old Testament and New Testament. They read the Bible. Those colonial power that came, those missionary, Christian missionary that went to South Africa, other African countries, they carry that teaching that, look, when the men marry you, you're supposed to use the men's name, the men's family name, that the name you're supposed to use. And they forced it on them. They said it was the apartheid time. They forced the law on them. Now that they're not in the apartheid regime, they say no, but we got to change the law. Let's come to modern day reality. Let's come to modern day reality, because before they brought this law, our tradition, the woman can use her pa last name. The children can use her last name. Even when she married, it was like that. And the essence was to keep the lineage of the family. But when the colonial people came, they changed the whole thing. So that's what I want us to look at. Could we bring that in our setting, saying we are a secular nation? Liberia is a secular state. What the constitutional code in South Africa ruled on behalf of its people and gave 2 years to the parliament to go and revisit the Deaf and Breath Act regulation, so that it is in lined with this new law, so that it will give effect to this stuff, because it is not a law passed by the parliament in South Africa, which I want you to know that. It's not a law passed by the parliament in South Africa. It was a ruling by the constitutional court based on a case, an argument between two couples from the lower court. Then they went to the constitutional court, and then lawyers and then judges, they look into the matter and think that it was appropriate. They thought that this thing of a woman using her husband's name was discriminatory. They said it was not a gender balance. It was forcing something on a person, and all because there were powers that were in existence, and they perpetuated those things upon the people. Now that they are in modern life, it has changed. So the court ruled and said, even woman can marry the man and use a woman's last name. But it's not a law passed. So they gave the Parliament of South Africa 2 years to go through that whole thing, look at the Breath and Deaf Registration Act, the Breath and Deaf Registration Act, and its regulations, so that it will work along. Now, I want to have sufficient of time to talk to you and ask you, the decision by the Constitutional Court in South Africa, is it wrong or is it right? If it is wrong, why you think it is wrong? Is it wrong for the court to rule that they think here for men to tell a woman to use for her to use the last name is not gender balance, and it should be an option? It should be something that they will discuss. I want to hear you. Do we need similar thing in Liberia, so that people can say, my folks need the men last name, I'll use my pa last name to keep their lineage, as the people said. Preservation of family last name, definitely. See the one, Jibo. That's why the South African argue. That is the actual argument that the Constitutional Court in South Africa bought. That was the argument of the people, to keep the family lineage, to keep the family name going, to keep that name going. That's what that was the argument. That was the couple when they argued. They went to law court. They went to, that was the argument. And in some African countries like Ethiopia, Eritrea, before the Western culture went there, the women were using their family last name. They were not using their husband's name, even after marriage. Even after marriage, they were not using their husband's last name. They were using their family name. And they said to keep the family lineage, so that the name of the family can remain, so that it will be. Because when you remove the woman pa name and put the man pa name there, that means the woman of family name is moved from there now. The woman is running with the man of family name. And that is the kind of thinking the South African had. And they said, no, you will erase our family lineage. It can be. It can be. So let we marry. The man can even use my last name. Yeah, the Megan. Oh God. Oh God. The word. Yeah. So I wanna hear you. I want to open the lines so we can listen to you. To hear you whether the ruling by the constitutional code in South Africa was in the right direction, or you think it is not biblical, it's against biblical norms and values. If so, then I will ask you the question: there's anything in the Bible that said the woman to the new husband last name? Then you argue by Israel and said the two shall be one. So let me open the lines. I want us to have limited time of discussing the issues, right? I want pastors and all the all of you. We mean these are something you need to call. You might not wait until money. All the things are politics too. The Bible get politics, theology get politics. So let's open the telephone lines on 077-223-9933. This is part 1 of 8. Part 2 of 8 now, I'll be having some pastors and other church leaders and then see how well we can get to the nitty-gritty of this thing. But let me hear you on 077-223-9933. 0886 304497 0777980 Let's take this person. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, my brother.
Yeah. Your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Pastor David Toba.
Okay.
And I'm calling from Jakarta.
Okay. Man of God, I show you listen to me.
This is my second time calling on your show.
Okay.
You see, the topic is so bulky because you have enough points for somebody just to, be able to talk for 1 second or 1 minute. So
no, go ahead.
Yeah, for me, I don't want to answer to say yes, it is right,
okay,
or no. But within my mind, according to what Bible says, because mine say I didn't see it in scripture to say like my name is Toba, then I married the woman used my Toba name. And also to the book of John, if you read John chapter, I think around 6, to the conclusion of John letter, he said, this is the testimony. Jesus did so many things. If Paul were written down, they would not be able to do the Bible. Won't be able to do the Bible because there are so many information that God gave me. We're not able to write all to put in the Bible. So in my mind, when the Bible says a man will marry to a woman to become one, that one means that one in everything. You people have become one. So one in everything, one in unity, one in one mind, one in one direction, and everything. That I understand it.
But is there anything, man of God, is there anything there also enshrined in the scripture that say the woman will use the man par the man on a sub name?
I'm not gonna cross it. So like Abraham married to a cousin. I just want to believe that it's because they want to maintain family name.
Okay.
Because he married to a cousin, even his son Isaac, he sent people to go look for a wife for in his own region, in his own family for his son Isaac. So I think just to maintain the name, but I don't think so Africa have their own culture. Go talk about culture. We have our own culture. What I know of seeing my grandparents, before then, our culture, man and woman, when you say husband, your friends can visit, your wife not have to be there. And the woman will excuse you.
Okay.
That's culture. So we can't take what the people agree on being in our country.
Yeah, but what's happening now?
Any country that practice gay right, will also practice it too.
Man of God, what am I saying now? In South Africa, the people say it was not that the modern, they say that where people that went there, they didn't want to carry that. And I see where poor brother want to love you.
100%, you explain very well. But what I'm trying to say too, is the same white people that brought civilization to us, that brought Bible to us. So let us forget about the Bible now. Let us forget about civilization or female medialization. The people post stop it, and we have a culture say we will go through the practices, but we post stop to it today. So why we can't post stop to all the other ones? Only because a man married a woman and the woman carrying the man name. I married my wife. I've been married by the grace of God 12 years. My wife take care of her father name, but it's middle name.
Wow. Okay.
It's middle name.
So you think you got no problem with that? You got no problem with that?
I got issue with it. My thing I'm telling you that you will not, I don't know, my culture or my understanding of becoming one. That's why I'm telling you.
Oh, okay. That means everything will be one.
Yeah. That becoming a one, that's the explanation I just giving you. Okay. So I don't know how other people understand it.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so kindly.
Yeah. Thank you so much. God bless you, brother.
Okay. Good evening.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, Israel Bodyrock.
Yeah, what is your name and where you calling from?
Oh, this is David. I listen to your analysis and then comparing the two countries, so Africa and Liberia, the constitution and the change of the law into Africa when it comes to the birth and death, right?
And
the thing is, let's go to the Bible.
Okay.
The Bible said, two shall become one.
Yeah.
And the Bible also said the man shall be the head of the home, right?
Okay.
Even if the civilization came to being, and then they start to distinguish the man and the woman, and the woman carrying the man's last name, it don't matter in where the man should use the woman's last name, like the woman married to the man, and translating to come to Liberia and say, look, we will want to use this kind of scenario in Liberia. I don't think it's helpful for us.
Because excuse my brother, what we're looking at, it might not just be the Liberian setting, but from the Bible perspective. And I will also ask, you said man shall leave his family and cleave to his wife, they shall be one. But there be anything mentioned that the wife would use the man family name?
The issue of political analysis, Paul said that the man should be the head of the home, right?
But we're gonna talk about the name now.
Israel. Be the head of the home. Be the head of the home.
Yeah.
You can't use your subordinate, which is the woman name, the woman family name. Then it don't put any title as the head of the home.
Okay.
So the two of you are the head, or the woman is the head, because listen, when you two come together with from a different background, where the woman has a we are, and the other one has what we are see, then we are not. You we are would be what we are saying. No, it can't be. So now coming to Liberia, right? Our setting was set in a way that we go through the civilization. Those people on the apartheid, there was no civilization there. When the apartheid came, they brought civilization to them. So coming from civilization, you can't say, I will go back in the bush and let the same thing with them practice when the civilization has taken over the entire world.
But the person they won't keep their family lineage.
The family lineage can grow when there is men in the family. So let the family and pray for more boys to be in the family, because the boss children will take care of the needs.
So my boss also butcher. Okay. Man said my dad bones also butcher, then they need the family need really. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Israel.
Yeah.
I'm interested in the topic, Edmond Carr. So the politician, I can't only start to.
I'll tell you, Edmond, let's hear you, man.
It's a serious issue to discuss or dedicate one. And mind you, some of those things, if you bring it into our setting, the first thing that the pastor will start coming after you is that this is a false doctrine that you are bringing. in Liberia, exactly, because the scripture, you cannot be critical. You cannot be critical on the scripture, and that is the reason why since it was written, adjustment has not been made, and you cannot change everything in it. So if you bring this idea out, then what happened with the children both of you will be having? A married man and married woman.
Let's leave Liberia side now. Edmond, you think the South African, those who argue the law and argue the case and the constitutional code rule in their favor, you think it's something justifiable that the woman can?
They would try. They are trying to justify in their setting. There are people who were able to buy to it. They were able to agree to it. But looking at our setting, it is kind of difficult. Look at the side when you talk about the children, because you and the woman are now one, and you're having children, automatically the children carry car, and the children need a carrying car. The woman will have her ownership there. She will have her identity there by the bloodline, and also that need that also she is surpassed. She has become Mrs. Carr. So the children is Mrs. Carr, but you brought the children thing, and then you don't want to leave your father name. Your father name is still John. You still carry John, and all of your children name in the marriage they still carry Carr, and Carr is the man that there. Then what happened?
Then what happened to the woman? What happened to the woman of family Nina?
But the family need is not lost. The family need is in the middle. And if you still want to push for family need, some of the family need can be placed on the children. You could born a child today. If your father need is John, we could say, okay, the other child need John. If the John card could be there, that is the family need. But you think and the need is always in the middle. So you think again? You think look at the side they talk about he or she that lead his or her mother or father clean into one and become one. What are you guys cleaning to? What? What is it?
You think we can do it like you too? We can do it?
No.
But why will you say no, Egmont? If the fact that your whole lawyer, they say, I know you might not do that thing, your tradition, you must stop it. The women say you must stop your tradition. Then why you think you can do the one?
Our society, even if we want to bring it on the table to discuss it, and look at the bread and corn, the spiritually filled people will tell you that you're bringing strange doctrine. So even when you are in the Sunday school, when you come into the class and want to try to be a little bit biblical, what they will tell you, when the Bible remains silent, then that means you cannot explain further. Okay. Like the one that we are discussing here, the Bible didn't talk about it. Definitely written that the woman should take her father knee, or when the woman married, he should take the man knee. When you bring that critical discussion, the understanding is where the Bible remains silent, we remain silent, we cannot go beyond.
Okay. All right.
So that's it.
Thank you. Let me go to the US. I think that's funny to me.
Israel. Israel, man. What's up, brother?
I'm okay.
Man, thank you very much for this, fascinating topic, man. You always bring it to the public disco that people have to reason before we come to the public disco, man. Yeah, man. Really appreciate you. You really like your man. First and foremost, I'm Sidewontia Jabo calling from Florida State, Jacksonville City. I'm happy to be on your show once again. You see, I take a different approach to this topic. I'm married in a state here, and my wife carrying her family name. Because sometimes, when you and a woman stay for so many years, and unforeseen things happen when you go in divorce, for the woman to change her name again, so many documented process and things can come in. So carrying your husband's name or not carrying your husband's name doesn't mean that you not your husband or she's not your wife. But your name can stay on the children, or for the woman herself carrying her family name. I believe that is necessary because you can have some people, they have only girls in their family, only girls. So so what will become of those who have only female children? So that means that man will lose his whole family name because why? He don't have no boy in his family. And marriage is not Christian. It's not Christian. It's a cultural something. We can't hold it that to say because marriage is only Christianity. No, marriage is in every culture. It's only Christianity and Islamists only come in because before the white men came, we were getting married to each other in our own tradition. So it's cultural. It's cultural. It's not something like say, it's Christian something.
That's what the South Africans saying. They said before the Western culture came, they were doing that thing. You marry, you're supposed to use your husband's last name.
Yeah, and that's a fact. That's a fact. So,
but then the Bible will come too. They will bring Bible. They will say the Bible said, "Man shall leave his family and cleave to his wife; they shall be one." So that one means the name shall be one.
Yeah, but they see Bible say when Adam left the garden, they met a lot of people on the other land. So that means people were there too. Yeah, so the Bible too is called complex because yeah. Yeah, but the Bible is called complex because we have our own tradition. We are having our own tradition. We the group will have our own tradition. Yeah. The pastor people are having a tradition. Before they settled us, came to Liberia. And you know, people were there. So how were the people then coexisting in marriage? You know, so it was there. So from my point of argument is that they have family where they have so many girls in their family, so many women. So I think their ministry got to be there. You can't wipe everything that, you know.
So but
marry.
The woman not forced to use the husband last name. When the children can use the last name.
Yes, my argument. Okay. They don't want use of family name. But we're using for family name. Yeah. So thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Let me talk to Kuri. Kuri will live that she will always be a Sunday. That is so funny. Kuri?
Yeah, you finish carrying my name. You interested?
Yeah.
Thank you, Hadu. Happy Sunday.
Yeah.
Let me ask one question first, yeah. That the man upon me before I'm gonna carry his last name.
Oh, and I your husband?
No, let me tell you, maybe it's different, but when I was getting married in America here, and we went to the court to fill up the paperwork. The clerk asked me, ma'am, are you going to take your husband's last name or will you carry your father's name? And the same thing I just asked you, I said, I look out alone, I said, man, he's not my father though. Even though we're getting married, but I'm carrying my father's name. So even though I was married, every paperwork I had on it, yes, married, but I took my father's last name. Let his children, they see where I'm carrying my father's name, when I have his children, let his children carry his last name. If that his children with DNA test, let him carry his last name. But I believe in that changing name, taking, because like in the States, if you carry the man's name and afterwards you have to divorce, that's why most people still carry the man's last name because it costs a lot of money to change your name back to your father's name. So because of that, you see some people still carrying the weird name, the Masakwe name and all that. And that's not the name, but because they don't have the money to change that name, they get stuck with that name. So I agree that you stay with your father's name.
But could the argument could be that it's not part of our culture in Liberia, so why should we do it?
We have the same culture in Liberia, we just don't carry it. We got the same thing in Liberia. We just the same way now in America, they're not trusting after 5 years, you stay with one woman, you stay with a man or a woman, you live together, you're married. And then same thing we got in Liberia. Everything in their country is there. Only small changes. It's the same thing. Then a woman carry her party, the other man keep his name. When the one have his parent, the other children carry their daddy name.
Okay. So you think the South African was not wrong? They was not wrong.
Yeah.
And the decision of the constitutional code was in the right direction. It says gender balance.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so kindly, Kudi William, there from the US of A. Let's take your calls now. Let's hear you now. 0. Oh my God. 00772239933 0886 304497 077798035. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, Chief. How you doing? Your name and where you calling from?
I'm G. Alexander Zimbabwe, calling from Badru.
Okay, let's hear you.
For the analysis, the basis you lay is somehow to vary the term, but for me, my own low input I want to give. Let's understand the land deed. Let's understand the boundary between countries. What claiming to say this is Liberia or this is Africa or this is Guinea? That's the boundary.
Okay.
That's number one from my own understanding. Then before you own a land, you got to get document from the document. When they give you the deed, then you will find cornerstone. You're not still certified after receiving the deed. Then you profile it, you do everything, but then you still play cornerstone. demarcating from you and John Brown.
Yeah.
Second, third, then you go United States, whatever, you build structure there to make you to be legitimate owner of that land. Isn't so?
Yeah.
Now, when you marry a woman who is carrying your father's name, it's not bad, but to prove to the world that she is your property, legitimate property, that why she carries that name.
Well, any document
to identify with your family, to identify to the world that this woman is legally married to John Brown.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, but biblically, it's not forced. When you go in the Bible, and the Bible even say something about that. You say you depart a family and go to another woman to find another family. So these people you departing, you don't go part of them. So why okay, say you want to get a father, okay. When something happens, then I can go to your father. You will not come to me now.
But they will look at the document. Yeah, document carried that all of you are married. At the name or that the document will look at?
The document is there to guide everybody, but if guiding is to claim ownership as this family, because when you think you will find somebody to marry them, but the woman is not for you. The woman is for the family.
Yeah.
And that the family needs the woman out there to prove to the people that the S.Y.Z. child came from John Brown place and married our family. So the highest work there.
But the children will use your last name. The woman won't use her partner name. Where they cry inside the document carry that you're married, your children using your last name.
Man, there's a serious vibe and you see inside that thing.
You can't take it, eh? But when women telling you say, I know genital mutilation must start there. People going to the bush, the traditional bush, we call it off and like, why you don't want to do your own thing?
No, the problem about that thing, we're looking at it from the physical, ain't no psychology.
Okay.
That's the more that what we're looking at. Because some other children out there, they know the other effect because the instrument they were using on the children, it creates problem for them. We don't want the medical.
But in your tradition, the women know that the tradition in Africa they will see must stop it. If they stop it, then where you against the issue of the woman using your family name, she supposed to use your last name.
Okay.
Anyway, that's it. Thank you. State and religion right here on Kings 88.5 077 223 9933 086 304497 0777 980 Maybe in a simple term, in South Africa, the big court that there, let me break it down so the old man, maybe they understand me. The big court that in South Africa, before in South Africa, if you marry the woman, she using her partner, even she married, her partner will still be on. Okay, let me tell the person understanding. Okay. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, brother.
Yeah, how are you?
Chenga.
Okay. Your name, where are you calling from?
I'm Evan Pastor. We're calling from Lane Street.
Pastor, wait, let's hear you on this thing.
Yeah, the issue of married woman using the name for our background, Muslim, it is good for a woman to carry her parent name. Yeah, it is good for the woman to carry her parent name.
Because if the woman background, the way
yeah, the how it's supposed to be, how the prophet teacher to do it.
Oh.
He said, yes. He said, yeah, the other color said, if you born to grandchildren, then one Johnson can take all your grandchildren and carry them. They use Johnson. You don't believe that your family lineage die? Okay, the prophet said, if your father born you, they should call you Bunun, Abraham, then use your father lineage. Why is your own name? Hello?
Yeah, I hear you.
I said, what is your full name?
I'm Ezra Boy. We are CA. My father's name is CA.
Okay. They say Bunun CA we are. And you understand? They call you Passier son, Islamically.
Okay.
Passier son.
Oh, I lost him. The phone went off. Oh my God. I hope, Chief, you can call back or call the other line 077 223 9933 0886 304497 0777 980-375. And you'll be live on State and Religion. And we try to hear you, you know. That was the argument and the constitutional court, the big court in South Africa, they ruled and say, yes, that system they were having before, where when the man married the woman man use a family name and she take her family name from there. You know, it was the colonial period. The women that went to South Africa to their home, and the women carried that system. So it's better the woman marry. The woman can use her partner. If she supposed to use the man family name. Good evening.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
How
are you?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I want to talk on our topic.
What's your name?
My name is Dorothy. I call from Carwell.
Okay, D, go ahead.
I got my sister. She in the state.
Mm-hmm.
She carrying her father's name. I got my auntie. She married. They call married both of them. They still carrying their parents' name, their father's name.
What did they say to you? Why they carrying their father's name?
Yeah?
They tell you why? Your sister told you why she carrying her father's name? Father's last name?
No, she didn't tell me. She never told me. Then her husband, one time we were talking, now her husband said, well, who name you carry? Why you can't carry your partner? I said, well, I'm married. Say no, but your sister carrying her father's name. So you should carry your partner like that. But no, I will answer to them one call. I'll answer to them one call.
So your sister, you asked your sister and she said her husband not get problem with it.
No.
But the children, your sister and the men get children?
Yeah, they got 3.
The children carrying the man's last name?
Yeah, Tama.
Oh, but then the woman carrying her father's name. Father's last name. Oh,
Anthony,
since that time, nobody bring case before you to make flower case.
Eh?
They didn't call you here to say, oh, we're making flower for last name business. Nothing like that.
No. He got problem with that. He the one that told me, say, but why you carry your father's last name? I said, but I'm married, I carry my husband's name.
So you yourself too now, how you see a correct or a not correct?
The correct, yeah, I love it.
You love it and using your husband's last name, a partner?
Yeah, it's my husband's last name.
Yeah, why you using a partner for now? Why you can use your own partner?
My husband, I left my father, my husband, I came to my husband, so I carry my husband's last name.
But you think it should be no problem, man?
He got no problem. I love that name. I love that.
You think if the man married a woman, the woman can use her father's last name, and when they get children, the children can use the man's last name?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. So you think why the South African people they not bad, they not wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mama. Thank you. Good evening.
Good boss. We are here.
Yeah. How are you, sir? Oh, you far away from the phone, oh? You're too low.
Okay.
Okay, you all right now.
Thank you. Yeah, I listen to.
Yeah, but you can come on and you go low again. You're going low again.
Okay now.
You stay low. I know.
It's still low.
Okay, let manage it. Go ahead.
Okay.
You see,
oh no, you have to make adjustment. Your phone be very low. Yeah, coming back on another. Good evening. Good evening. I don't know what's happening. Good evening. Wait, let me make adjustment on this phone. I'm coming. Let me switch this phone off the line and put it back on. Okay, so that 2 numbers you can call on the 0-777-980-375 or the 077-223-9933 or 0886-304497. So we can hear you. We got small lead time here. You can call us so we can hear you. What is your own take? What do you think about it? You know, the South African people argue. It was 2 couples that took the issue to court. And the Constitutional Court reasoned and said, oh, but it makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense. So the man can use the woman married it. The woman can be using her father's name. Even when she get married, she can still use her father's name. Like you have some instances of those who call from the USA, like other sister, yeah, like brother, her sister married someone in America, and the sister is using her father's last name. But the children they born, the children using the man's last name. So that is the situation that in South Africa, if we were to do it like that, would be wrong. Is it against the Bible? Good evening.
Yeah, how you doing?
Yes, sir. I'm okay. Your name? Where you calling from?
This is Joseph Flomo calling from Sender.
Okay, Flomo, go ahead.
Yeah. A conversation I just get in free. I don't really know detail about it.
Yeah, we say now.
Understanding that there.
Let me explain to you.
It is a man that married a woman.
I come in. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, the thing here in South Africa. You listening to me?
Yeah, I'm listening to you.
In South Africa, the big code their rule say when the woman marry, the woman can use her part last name. She forced to use the man on her part last name. That's why the code rule. And the people say yes, because that law that was only that where people carry that law. So you now when woman marry, you marry a woman in South Africa, you forced to use your last name. You can even use the woman's part last name. In like bro, I'm asking, you think we're able to do it here? Is it against the Bible? Or is it something that is against our culture?
But my understanding that there in Liberia, nothing again happen easily. Because the fact is that it is the man that married the woman. The woman carrying the father line in the middle. And the man last name comes to the line. So the man last name that is the man that married the woman will carry. The man the woman has not to carry her father line name can be in the middle. Yeah.
But what the Bible say?
You the man that married a woman that the last needs to be mentioned on the woman like myself who speaking my name is Joseph Flomo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if the woman that will meet the whole call her Musu Gomping. So her Gomping, they will say Musu G Flomo. Musu G Flomo. Then it will be honest too. Yeah.
But why you want the woman to use her partner?
But they're not her father. She married me. You know, married her father.
But the document,
so she had to care my
the document will show that two of you married. Why don't you use your partner? Then why you still get problem with it?
Well, she said carry her father because the father is in the middle. Yeah.
Oh God! Thank you too. You're too funny to me. Nobody said the phone and use to look at your partner. Yeah, my God. 077-223-9933. Let's take this person. I love this discussion. Good evening.
Yes, Israel. Good evening. How you doing?
I'm okay, sir.
Okay, I've called you from my District 17 resident to this specific 13.
Okay, your name?
Okay, I'm Nathaniel Espada.
Okay, Mr. Pale, let's hear you on this thing.
Yes, for me, if I'm married to a woman carrying her father last name, it don't matter for me. It don't matter. Because the Bible did not say that when you marry to a woman, the woman should carry your name. But even though the Bible says the woman leave her parent and the man leave his parent and both of them become one flesh.
Yeah.
Okay? But it doesn't mean that the woman should carry her father's name or it's supposed that the man should use, the woman should use the man's father's name.
But the woman, who the head of the home now?
The husband is the head of the home.
So the woman's supposed to use the husband's last name?
Yeah, but for me, in my case, for me, it's no problem.
Oh.
Yeah, for me, I don't get a problem with it.
So, but the children can use your last name?
Yes, of course, they can use my last name.
Well, if they will use your last name, then why the woman can't use your last name?
Well, I feel that it might be something embarrassment to her when she's carrying my last name.
Oh, but then the documents say you're married legally.
Yeah, we're married.
So if you have any property for two of you, even though you're using your father's name, last name.
Yes. Okay. Yes, for two of us.
Okay. So you don't see it as problem. All right.
I don't see a problem at all.
Thank you so kindly. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Good evening.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. Good evening. Your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Mohammed Bas. Sing to you from district number 9, Singkong.
Okay, but let's hear you.
Yeah, me from that, I don't see any problem there. The woman to use his father last name because what happened? The children always carrying your last name. You know, taking the woman last name.
The men are.
So the woman, the men are.
Okay.
Because all the children are taking your last name. So we I don't understand because that the Western world giving us that kind of problem about me and my wife. If the last name can be Jallo, my last name can be Ba. So our last name will stay there. But anyway, so the Western will give you a hard time that I'm making the woman taking my last name Ba. No way, you're not taking that one. So his father last name is Jallo. So that one making that to better all that one because the time I was traveling, they were asking me all that thing then. You see?
But you think it will be no problem if the woman use or partner that no problem. So long your children using your last name.
Yeah, that is no problem. Let me tell you tell your last name. Hey, father last name is very important. Because the children taking my last name too.
Okay. Alright. Okay. So you think what the thing they put there in South Africa is not bad, like it already.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's happening in many countries. Yeah, many countries in West Africa. It happens in many countries. You can see the woman last name too, the husband last name too. It happens in many countries in Africa. Yeah.
Okay.
That is the deal. What is not bad. It has been happening.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for being a part. Student Religion. 077-223-9933. Good evening.
Yeah, how are you, my brother Israel?
I'm okay, sir. Your name, where you calling from?
I am back again second time. I was the first caller, David Tokma.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm very funny.
I just want to ask another question.
Yeah.
If I married the woman carrying her father's name, right? But how would they address her when she and I go somewhere like, you come in like, they're going to say mysteries, this mystery, Tokma. So how would they address her?
I mean, they call the woman name, Miss Teresa Muna. Now, I'm the wife to the man.
Yeah, because the praise if she uses her father's name, okay, we'll go somewhere that my wife. So when they address her, how would they say mistress or mix?
Yeah,
when you are mix, it means that you're not married, they say you say your father's name.
Their last name you behind here, so my man. Now your wife.
So how would they refer to her?
My man, that your woman, they will call me.
No, go on name, but they need how to be bearing some.
Yeah, but miss, when they say miss, Dwabwe Namwe married to Tamatelo. What is that? Okay, my brother. Thank you so much. It's so hard to understand, so hard to debate. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, sir. How you doing?
I'm okay, sir. Your name, where you calling from?
My name is usually Sheriff. I call him Cloud.
Sheriff, let's hear you, man.
Yeah, I know I've been through the discussion, but what is the main point?
The main point is in South Africa, the Supreme Court there, the Supreme Court ruled 2 couples went to court. They said they had the issue because before in South Africa, when the woman using her pa name or pa last name, even when she get married, she still use her pa last name. But now in South Africa, they were doing when you marry, you gotta use the man you married to that the man under follow last in your news. So the people went to court. Then the court said no. That law, that old law, that the way people carry that law. If the woman married, the woman not forced to use your last name. The woman can use your past last name. You're still husband and wife. So that what we're asking, if you think if we bring it to like brought to a work where you marry your wife, then your wife use your past name. But then all the children you're born, the children will use your last name.
You know, what I want to say is what you say is true. The law that's African using, I prefer it. You know what I prefer for?
Yeah.
Because when I was born, I've been hearing that when you born your child and it's a gay child, they go into another married home, they gotta use the father name. The reason they are using the father name, if you don't use it first, you will use it last. You know you're using the middle. If you don't use it in the middle, then use it last. I don't see it to be parent. Ain't getting it.
Okay, so it's to keep the family name going, eh?
We have to keep the family name going because some cases, some men don't born male child.
Okay.
So don't think the child is born. So, and I think my child continue going on, your legacy will stay beyond earth, then the whole family will not finish and the whole world in. Okay. But that's why other people get problem with it.
So you will not get problem when you marry the woman using your past last name, eh?
I would not have problem because why? It's all around. I think the Quran can measure it.
Okay. Thank you, Papa. Thank you so much. Thank you. Good evening.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, I'm Dara X Bolo.
Okay, Darius. Go ahead. Oh, Darius slipped off the line. You can call me. We got a few minutes. 077-223-9933, 0886-304497 or 077-980-375 are the numbers you can call me on this evening to be a part of the program State and Religion right here on Kings 88.5. And we're looking at the ruling by the Supreme Court, the Constitutional Court in South Africa on the 11th of this month. The court ruled, the court said the previous law that was banning men, the previous law that said the woman can use the man's last name, is that law? No. The woman can use, the man can even use the woman's last name, father name. Good evening.
Yeah, hello?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, when woman marry, the man, she should carry the man's last name. But God says two of them should be one, but not two. So if the woman will care about it, why make two of them one? Why should we go back and if the man doesn't her, I mean, he already got her. So anything now that the man family, so that she defends the man family. So all the daddy or the children you call the man star.
But the man can use the woman's last name. The woman can use, the man can, if the man marry the woman, the man can use the woman family under name. You hear him? Because the people say, the court say, if you marry a woman in South Africa, you can use the woman under part last name. Or the woman use something like that. Oh, I don't know how he's not really getting me. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Calling.
Yeah.
Yeah. The point is somebody marry my daughter, then he carry the main last name. Suppose the man, leave my daughter. The next man come marry my daughter. Then that man will say be there. How my daughter will marry the other man? My name will be the main name will be last. When marry my daughter, I leave my daughter, and he will move on there. My name will be there. Next man I marry my daughter, the next man will be the last.
So you think you get problem with what they saying, eh?
Yeah. I have problem with that. Let the main name will be last. My name will be second. When the man marry my daughter, he will my daughter, and he will move on there. Any man can marry my daughter, the man will be there to last. That's what it be.
But the people said if the man married a woman, the man can use a woman family with the last name.
It's not going to be like that. The man family needs to be last. Then when it happens like that, then how my daughter will marry again?
Yeah, but anyway, talking your daughter married, the children will use the man last name. The woman use your daughter use your last name.
The man not want to use the last name. Not supposed to be my name.
But ain't your daughter? Ain't your daughter?
The last name is supposed to be the man. When you leave my daughter, then carry me.
Okay. Okay, CDC Baby. Thank you. Okay, CDC Baby, then you agree. Let's hear you. So that is even in South Africa, the men can use the woman family name. There's something where the thing where the constitutional code rule. When they marry the woman, the men can even use the woman family name. But both of them can say and say, which last name should we use? Should we use your own last name or we use my last name? They can talk it. They say some change now. Good evening.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, your name, where you calling from?
My name is Pierre PTK. We are calling from Salala District, Bon County, Hudafan community.
Okay, I show you following. Let's hear you.
Yes, if I marry the woman, let the woman carry my last name. Because this is what I marry her for.
You marry her for last name?
Pardon me?
You married a woman for last name?
No, I'm not married the woman for last name. But even if the document proves that yes, the children carry my last name, and then my wife that I have, she has to carry my last name.
Well, in case the document get you and the woman married, you using your partner, you using your own name, and on this your married husband and wife. It's not a document.
Yes, let the brother wife to let the world prove it that yes, I'm married to her. Yes.
So you think that law where the people in that in South Africa that you think you want to yes say?
No. That other law is for South African people.
That really the law not pass here because the parliament not pass, they not amend the death and breath regulations. So they pass it as law. Yeah, the Supreme Court get rule in favor of the people that went to court.
Yes, that decision that they running.
Hello. Oh, my man from Salala, Bon County. I know what I have been the last name. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Paul, we are seeing. How are you?
I'm okay, Chief. Your name, where you calling from?
Yeah, this is Mami Guitar. You know, I've been listening to the show. It's a very important show.
Yeah.
And we have to really learn the right of human beings. And for me, I'm a Muslim. Okay. It's not right for a man to bury a woman child because of marriage. Yes. Because if we are seeing, you born your family, that family represent you forever until you can live on it. When you leave here, your children will be here, right? Okay. Your girl child will go into a marriage. The children that they are born in an identical relationship, that the man own the property that he can put his last name on the children, but not the woman, because the woman represents every we are seeing. Their name had to be there. Anytime you call it name, somebody will turn around. Oh, which are the boy we are seeing? Then you identify and say, oh, my dad's so. But for you to bury somebody's name because of marriage, for me, I'm not really into that. That one is not part of marriage activity. No, but some people can do it against women because sometimes some of the women did not have strong mind. There was some of the things they have the boy wrong.
So you think even if the woman carrying a partner and the man carrying a partner, the document will show that they are husband and wife?
Yeah. You and the woman can live in a way. The only time the man only will be mentioned in a family. If you have one child or children in an identical family.
Okay.
Then the man would name, you will put it underneath because like a family are coming up.
But then how they would know that boy that you the man to the boy when you using your partner and the child using the man family name?
If the woman you see or partner.
Yeah, then you using your partner, then the children you're born, the children using the man name now. Then how they would know that your children?
Yeah, the people know the children because if I'm on the tower, I bought a child by any woman, my name going on now, I didn't call child. They will know that children is for me or that child for me.
How about the woman now? How they will know the child for the woman when the woman using her partner?
Or he will be on that child, but that knee is silent. In the Islam is Islamic faith because it's the man own property that are bringing out. So the woman really will go with her family.
But you don't think tomorrow anything happen they could say, but the man, the children are using you're not using our son name, last name, so you can be.
No, some family can do it. Even one time one of my brothers do that, I went there, I told him, I said, this is wrong. Because the woman in the relationship with you, the father that born the identical woman, or his last name need to live forever. People to know that they identical child from their family. So your own children have right on them. That why even in our Ladua society, for somebody to change your child last name, it can be easy. You see? So boy, we are saying this show is the identical show the evening is one of the educated show.
Okay.
You need to bring somebody who understand and teach the Gabon people how to do the marital affair.
We'll do that. We'll do that. Guitar. Good evening. The person slipped off the line, and so I called us on 077-223-9933. Good evening.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm okay. You know where you calling from?
I think you should have sharing me from Saddam.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I want to say?
Yeah.
Hello?
Sheriff.
Yeah, you get me?
Yeah, go ahead now. What you want to say?
Okay. You know, some people using the word like bring the power, you got to use your father last name.
Mm-hmm.
But you are the woman. And the father for you, you ain't getting it? Other men say like you should use your husband. It's not right. Because when you use your husband, your father will be buried. Don't tell me that the power when you marry the woman, you